Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond. Wanted in 25 states. Not wanted in 25 states.
Want to learn from those that are taking their lives, their businesses, and their passions to the next level? Best-selling author of Master the Art of Connecting and professional speaker Lou Diamond is here to connect you to some of the most inspiring and amazing people on the planet. Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
Welcome, everyone, to another fantabulous, spectacular episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I'm your host, Lou Diamond. Today on Thrive Loud, we have a serial entrepreneur, strategic thinker, and investor who possesses a deep understanding of blitzscaling companies. I love that. He's a sales and marketing guru. He is currently the CEO and lead investor of Maxi Media, one of the largest TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, and Google Display Network performance marketing agencies in the world. His latest book, The Lucky Formula. It hit the Wall Street Journal, USA Today rankings, Amazon bestseller list back in November of 2021, and he's just crushing it. And where life is a game of chance, I bring you Mark Lachance. Mark, how are you today?
Hey, Luke, can I hire you to be my publicist or what?
You know, a lot of people, actually, there's a real funny story. We've had some guests on the program who have told me, we took your opening and intro and actually they played it when they walked on stage one time. And I'm like, we got to charge me for that type of stuff. But, so we can talk after the pod. Anyway, first of all, great to have you on. You are coming to me from South Florida, which is kind of funny because I'm coming to you from South Florida. So this is, we're bouncing off the peninsula here to the rest of the world. So tell us, Mark, I want to kick this thing off because it's one of those words that I actually had to look up because I wasn't exactly sure what the hell it is. How did you have a deep understanding of blitzscaling companies in your career?
Well, I read the book, but that didn't do it for me. Before that, I understood the concept of blitzscaling before reading the book. But look, it's a concept where you're literally growing faster than you possibly able to, and you're stretching yourself. I mean, I've done it a couple of times now. I've done it actually 3 times. This is the third time we're blitzscaling now. It's basically having a massive, bold target and, locking onto that target and taking every step of the way, doing what you have to do to get there. And that's hiring the best people, fires burning everywhere. And, just going balls to the wall. I don't know if I can say that on your podcast.
You could say any fucking thing you want here. It's that type of podcast.
There you go.
I know you're originally from Canada before coming to Florida, so I know that means you're going to apologize at least 2 more times before this episode.
Well, yes, but I was born in the U.S. and I lived in the U.S. for 30 years before coming back from Canada. So
I do recognize.
I don't apologize.
You have the greatest hockey name I've ever seen. By the way, this would definitely go on the back of a jersey. Just want to make that clear. I mean,
it actually was in the back of a jersey for about 13 years. My brother played in the NHL. So there you go.
There you go. It's awesome stuff. All right. So look, you are also, as I mentioned to the listeners in the opening, you are focused on one of the most active spaces in the social sphere, for lack of a better word, out there. And I kind of want to do a little rewind here. Not all the way to the womb, Mark. Don't worry about it. I just want to go, I want to go a little bit backwards to understand how this specifically, Maxi Media, became your gig.
Well, it's so it goes back to, I was in the payment space for a long time. So when I say payments, it's a lot like PayPal, Square, and companies like that. So, but we focused mainly, and my career was first, I'll call it in the higher risk space. So some of the higher risk verticals like pharmaceuticals and sort of gaming and multi-level marketing, where we could get fat margins. And then we made a decision as a corporation to actually, instead of cash flow, go for value. And we moved more towards the point of sale. So for example, any restaurant you go to has a point of sale. So card present transactions, which makes the portfolio much more valuable rather than a cash generator. So from there, I was actually in 2016 sold the company sold my latest payment company back to my business partners in New York. And then for 6 months, I was working with my wife on a business called Fit Club 24, which basically combines fitness and nutrition, which was phenomenal. It's still running virtually today. Not the locations are now closed. You can guess why. But anyway, but I was doing that business, but I didn't see an opportunity to blitz scale or to grow quickly. And then, one of the guys that I hired to do the ads, because I was actually doing the media buying myself, which is a joke, but we'll get into that in a second. And then I kept on hiring people, but nobody could beat my number. Nobody could beat the cost per acquisition or cost per lead. But then this gentleman named Max walked in and totally crushed my numbers. And he was a one-man shop. And I thought that, look, this guy's got, he's got skills that we need to bottle up and take, and we can blitz scale the hell out of that opportunity. And that's exactly what we did. So we started with two employees back in 2018-ish. And then today we're over 250. So that I would classify that as blitz scaling. But yeah, go ahead.
No. Keep going. I'll let you go.
Yeah, I was going to say we didn't catch our groove until end of 2019. So it's basically been just over 2 years. We had 4 employees end of 2019, and now, so in 2 years, we grew from 4 to 250.
Gotcha. Wow. Talk about blitzscaling. And now I want to know, so specifically, what are you doing to help the customers that you do? Give me a day-to-day. What's the main thing that people are coming to you for?
Well, we drive traffic. So we're more performance-based. We're not your typical agency. We look for verticals that are high traffic and high profit. And we're driving traffic, generating leads, generating clicks. That's our game. So for example, we're in the education space. We're in the, there's universities all around you in South Florida that we work with. We're in the insurance space. We're in the lending space. So again, huge verticals that need tons of traffic and tons of leads. That's what we focus on.
When you made a good comment, you'd sold the business, you've started a business, you've got a good strategy for being an entrepreneur. It also takes something that is what most people would say is something that they might not be able to figure out or determine. And a lot of people know this, being the right place at the right time, or what we'll call here luck. You may have figured out a formula for this, have you not? Explain how you've kind of decoded, for lack of a better word, maybe the success that you've had or the good fortune, and how others may be able to capitalize on it.
Well, I think it gets down to, I'll tell you a quick story around that. So every single trade show or conference or whatever, I was in Mexico at a conference last week, I always come out of there with an opportunity. Is it luck, or is it the fact that I'm an approachable person and I like to ask questions and speak to people? There is a book called The Luck Factor by Richard Wiseman. And he had rated lucky people versus non-lucky people. And one of the best skills as a lucky person is to actually be an outgoing person that asks questions and speaks to people. So I'm going to tell you that that's one of the key factors in getting lucky. I mean, my formula is internal condition mastery plus external condition mastery plus action equals luck. And I can get into the formula in details if you want. But
I kind of do, but I'm going to ask one question beforehand. True or false? The harder you work, the luckier you are.
True. Absolutely true. But you also need a last name like Lachance, which actually means luck. So
come on, I worked it into the opening here. So break down this formula a little bit here, because I know our listeners love to figure this stuff out. Explain to me what you're defining and how you're measuring it. I think just let's keep it at top level, because I think it's pretty cool, and I think it'll be a good way to continue our conversation.
I mean, how I define it is I guess the question might be, how do you get lucky? How do you use the formula to get lucky? So Lou, I'll give you an answer. I'll give you a question. I'll actually use an example on you. So for you, I think you have the best voice in radio. Your voice is unbelievable. I want to hire you. So look, if I continue to tell you how great you are, great I think your podcast is. I listen to a couple episodes and they're phenomenal. If I continue to speak highly of you and use proper language with you, there's a good chance that you'll like me. Mm-hmm. And there's even a better chance that one day you'll refer me somebody. So that's part of the formula, is the language. How do you speak to people? Are you complimenting them? Are you, positive with them? Are you continually, giving them excellent feedback, right? And then so good things come back to you. It's sort of it's like the butterfly that flutters, 5,000 miles away, but creates a hurricane over here. It's the same exact thing in each step of the way. So are you waking up in the morning, and do you have a morning routine that gets you fired up and out the door instead of, woe is me, this day sucks, blah, blah, blah. So it starts in the morning. It starts with your thought process. It starts with you tell yourself. It starts with the affirmations you tell with yourself. It starts with, if you sink into a negative rut, take a look at that list of 20 amazing accomplishments that you've done in your life and get yourself out of that negative state and back into a positive state. So Lou, let me ask you a question.
Absolutely.
Do you want to hang around with people that are fired up all the time, or do you want to hang around with a woe is me person?
Mark, I only hang out with the most amazing, thriving individuals each and every day. That's just, and they, by the way, they just keep coming to me every single minute. So no, of course I want to hang out with amazing people. I don't want to be around negative Nelly Willies. It's annoying.
Okay. So that's another part of the form is your crew. Who do you hang around with? Right. So Lou, if you hang around with people that are, multimillionaires and billionaires, and this is not about money, but I'm just using it in terms of.
Yes, I'm hoping loose change falls out of their pockets and it comes into mine. Absolutely.
That's part of it.
Totally.
That's part of it. But you're going to get the mindset. I'll give you an example. So I was at a Tony Robbins event in Sun Valley a few years back, and T. Boone Pickens was on the stage. And Tony asked him a question. He said, T, if you could give the crowd here a tip on how they could use your intelligence and your knowledge on how to profit just today, right now. So he told us how to buy futures, and I literally made $30,000 in a second.
Wow!
Just by being so. For example, I could have made more had I risked more. I could have made $10 million in a second. But the point is, who you hang around with is going to dictate who you become and what your mindset is like. So that's another one.
So good question. As a leader and somebody that's got a company that's grown from 4 people to 250 people, this is a key component to surrounding yourself and your organization with key people. These are key traits that you look to surround your organization with to get the success that launches you to be lucky and be successful. Yes?
That's correct. Absolutely. Now, one of the I guess the slippery slopes on that one is immediately you can't hire the best, right? But what you can do, what we've had a huge success doing is finding undervalued talent. So for example, our team is probably made up of about 80% Gen Z, very young people, but we found the diamonds or the nuggets out of that crew, and we've been able to nurture them to become leaders in the organization. So you don't need a massive budget to start out. You can find undervalued younger assets, and they can help you get to the next level. Absolutely, just as good as and maybe even better than an executive that comes with 20 years experience and has their baggage coming with them.
This is going to be the tough question because I found this to be one of the things that entrepreneurs tend to do. And in your case, I'll use the word, your brain is probably thinking, what's the next thing to blitzscale? Is there something you're already thinking ahead of? And this is something that I've noticed that great entrepreneurs who've been successful currently are in something and they're doing great right at that moment, but they're looking for what the next thing is. Is that in your DNA? Is that what you're always doing?
You must have read my mind prior to this call. Of course. Absolutely.
You're not going to lead into what that is. I was going to.
I'm going to tell you. Well, let's put it this way. I got heavily involved in cryptocurrencies about 2.5 years ago. And so the next big thing for me is going to be something revolved around NFTs, crypto, and metaverse. I don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
But I'm going to Bitcoin 2022, which is right down the street from us in about a month. That's going to be the start of it. My only experience thus far has been buying and selling cryptos, basically buying and holding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a few others. So I don't have the metaverse, let's say, or the NFT background, but that can be solved by going to a few trade shows and asking the right questions. By the way, did you hear me what I said? Asking the right questions.
Ask the right questions that start the conversations, that build the relationships with who you do business with. I see where you're going. Exactly. I love it. All right. So Mark Lachance, look, you hang out with normal people. You start every day waking up to get yourself in the right vibe. But no matter what you can do, let's face it, we all have days when we're not quite kicking on all cylinders and the world is maybe not so glass half full and it's a tough day. Things happen. On those days, Mark Lachance, when you're not thriving, what practice do you seek, or maybe what individual do you seek out to get yourself back on the thriving track?
So something knocks me out of my state. I have a meditation technique, a 21 meditation technique. And by the way, I forgot to talk to you about that in my morning routine. Every single morning I meditate, bar for the last 6 years, every single day. And that for me is the silver bullet. But let's say I get knocked off my horse during the day. We'll say I've got a technique or a breathing technique that works. It's basically a 2-minute breathing technique. And if that doesn't work, I've got my 20-minute technique to get all the, the negativity out of the air.
Your morning routine, how long do you go for meditation each day?
Well, it used to be my morning routine. It just changed since I came back from, I don't know if you know Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Yeah, of course.
So I was just at his event last week in Mexico, and it just changed since then. So I was on a 21-minute routine. Now it's about an hour and 10-minute.
Wow.
So yeah. So my 21-minute meditation, and then I was incorporating yoga and affirmations, but now these are all incorporated in the Dispenza's technique.
I'm impressed. I get to 8 minutes and then I'm like, all right, I'm done. I need more discipline is what it is. I just have a lot of work to do. Mark, let's do this. I want the plug section out of the way because we're going to continue to have more fun than you can imagine. All right. Share with the listeners where they can get the Lucky Formula, when they can learn about Maximedia. This is your plug moment. Run through how they can connect with you. We will put it on the show notes, but it gets more engagement when they hear it from you.
All right, let's do it. So how can they buy the book? They can get the downloadable version on Audible, or they can go to Amazon bookstore and buy the hardcover or the soft cover. But I do have a free gift for your listeners.
All right.
You have many listeners. So the free gift is I've got a lucky quiz that I put together, and you can find the quiz, and I'll tell you what it does after. But the quiz you can find at theluckyformula.com/quiz. Again, theluckyformula.com/quiz, and this is going to give you your lucky score on a scale from 1 to 100. It's going to tell you how lucky you actually are. Awesome. And if let's say your score is a bit low, it's going to give you tips and tricks on how to get your score up. And if it's high, how do you get it higher? And luck, by the way, can be interchanged with success in sort of my definition.
I'm really hoping that I fill out that score, get a really high number, and I'm at the craps table while I'm filling out the form. Maybe. No, that won't work that way. I'm just kidding. Okay, but very, very cool. I love it. Mr. Mark Lachance, you ready to go down Fun Street with me here?
I am, but can I tell them how to find me on Instagram?
Oh, yeah. Bring it. I apologize. Right. I interrupted your flow. I got so excited with the lucky score. So where can we find you on social? So I apologize.
Instagram at Mr. Lucky Official. So at Mr. Lucky Official, and that's MISTER Lucky Official on Instagram.
My dearest apologies for cutting you off there.
That's okay, Lou. That's
so
okay.
Excited by the lucky score. I really wanted to get lucky, wanted to have fun. Get lucky is having a whole new meaning on this podcast. Okay. So, Mark, let's do Fun Street. Can we do that? Ready to roll?
Let's do it. That's
right.
Rock. Yeah.
So can you share with the listeners what you shared with me was your all-time favorite movie?
Absolutely. Dead Poet Society. And it really highlighted Carpe Diem, or seize the day. Basically, seize it, make it happen, and let's do great things.
Have you always been that way your whole life? This grab every moment, seize the day, take advantage of? I mean, obviously that movie came back in the 80s, but has this been part of who you are always?
Well, it is, but obviously you're going to go through down times, and if and when you read my book, listeners, you're going to see that I got crushed in 2007, 2008. So, and I was on, I went through a period of some dark days, but you get it, you snap out of it, and if you're a winner, you're going to snap out of it. So that's what I did.
I don't think anyone in the world has really lived unless they've actually been knocked off their bike or knocked off on the floor. It's because I think, what is it? Rocky Balboa says that quote, it's not how hard you get hit. It's how hard you get hit. And if you get up and you keep moving forward, right?
Exactly.
That's what life's about. Damn, that guy Stallone had something going on with that character. Okay. All right. I want to do the speed round with you, Mark. And this is how this rolls. I'm going to ask you something. I want the first thing that comes to your mind. These are things that lift you up, motivate you, make you feel good. Basically, they make you thrive. Ready to rock?
Let's do it. Let's go.
Of late, a song that you love to listen to or one that pumps you up?
I love it. There's a song by Creed, Higher.
Ooh.
That's an awesome song. And I heard that at an event, and I'm like, I got to get that. So that's an awesome song. There's actually a song also that I just downloaded. I downloaded and I heard it on Ted Lasso. But then I heard it again. I heard it again last week at Dispenza. But I have to get that song for you. Hang on. It is Not Immigrant. Hello by Martin. I think it's Solveig and Dragonnet. So it's that song Hello. It was on Ted Lasso. You remember when the assistant coach went through some crazy times? And
you mean the beard psychedelic episode?
Exactly.
It's really interesting because it was a weird episode, but it ended so awesome. So it was great. Like where are they going with this? And then it ended up being fun. So
Exactly. Well, that song kind of lifts me up, and I heard it last week at Dispenza, and I was like, this is one of my faves.
I like it. Okay. A favorite food that's not a dessert.
Favorite food, I just actually whipped up some awesome eggs, and if you put the right spices on it, and it's got the protein that you need to get the day going. So eggs.
All right. Favorite dessert.
Favorite dessert is chocolate by far, bar none.
Is there there's different ranges of chocolate, anything chocolate. Anything.
Chocolate ice cream, chocolate cake, chocolate mousse. Chocolate.
It's got the right chocolate in it, you're in.
Only once a week though, Lou. Only once. But if you ask my little son, he's a chocoholic, so we have to watch out for him.
Totally. An activity you wish you did more of.
I actually wish I played more ice hockey because I was playing before the kids. I was playing 3 to 4 days a week, and now I'm hardly ever playing. And also jujitsu. I just got my blue belt last summer. And since we moved to Florida, I haven't gotten back in the groove. So those are two.
An activity you wish you did less of.
Scrolling Twitter. Serious.
Like this, going this. I think I'm more of a scroller in Instagram than I am in Twitter, but that's interesting. A lot of people are just rolling through it. If I could snap my fingers and you, Mark Lachance, what I'll call Mr. Lucky from now on, could be anywhere in the world, where are you?
You can give me a second. I'm going to show you exactly where I want to be. Watch this.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on. Listeners, he is leaving the chair. He's grabbing something. He's heading on over to show it to us so I could see where he wants to be if I snap my fingers. I'm hoping it's not the bathroom.
Where I want to be, Lou? At center ice at the Florida Panthers holding up the Stanley Cup.
Oh, nicely done. He's holding up the Stanley Cup for those who can't see this on the video. Spectacular stuff. Mark Lachance, the Lucky Formula. Truly great to have you on. Maxi Media, we'll put all the links out to you. Dude, congrats on all your success. I love your motivation. I love your energy. I love your blitzscalingness. I'm putting that might be the episode, and we're going to play it out here with some of this cool music you've offered us here. Thank you so much for coming on Drive Loud today.
Thanks for having me, Lou. Let's do it again sometime.
Absolutely. And to all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us. And until next time, keep moving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Check us out on the web at thriveloud.com and follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at Thrive Loud. And check us out on the Good Pods app at Thrive Loud, where you can follow, listen, and connect directly to Lou and all of the Thrive Loud episodes. Thanks for listening.